How many of you here you heard a statement which says think out of the box? It's a completely bullshit statement. A gentleman asked how can people fly? They put a metal piece together, we got aeroplane. And it's so popular, people keep using it. For most people, their problem is their question. And because you don't have the right question, you don't reach to the right answers in life. And then you want, I gave up my dream. Every child is aspiring to become a superstar, whether they are born in Vietnam, Japan, America, doesn't matter, Mexico. What goes wrong is your mentorship. And this I call an invisible prison. How many of you here you heard a statement which says think out of the box? It's a completely bullshit statement. It is doing more disservice to you than serving you because you have heard it and it's so popular, people keep using it. I would highly recommend stop using the statement think out of the box. Okay. I was sitting in a restaurant almost 15 years back, and I learned from Tony that for most people, their problem is their question. For most people, the question is not clear. And because you don't have the right question, you don't reach to the right answers in life. And it's not a mistake, Our entire life has gone into giving answers. There never was an exam when people sat down and they said, you know what, it's an open forum. Let's see who comes up with the greatest question. And that's how you will be scored. A gentleman asked, how can people fly? They put a metal piece together, we got aeroplane. Somebody said, how can people connect and speak without a wired phone? We got mobile phone. So it's all about asking powerful questions. So coming back, I kept asking a question to myself because when I was on stage, I was struggling. In spite of the training I was going through, I was struggling to look at people, give them eye contact. I would look up, I would look down, I would look this side, I would look that side, but I would not look into people's eyes. And my heartbeat will be at such a rate. Sometime on a rare occasion, it felt that my heart will pop out of my body. Anybody felt like that sometimes, ever in their life? Yeah. So I needed a better solution to the problem I was going through. So I kept constantly asking, what is the best way to handle this? And I got a great realization sitting in a restaurant, and I started making notes on the napkin paper, okay? I realized that every human being has been blessed with a powerhouse. And when you become a better manager of your powerhouse, you can become a better communicator, a better public speaker. Now, if you're not sure what powerhouse I'm talking about, let me explain it to you. Everybody raise your two fingers for me. Point towards your mind and say, this is my powerhouse. Give somebody a high five and say, yes, my friend, that's your powerhouse. So your powerhouse is divided into two parts. How many parts? There is something called the conscious part of your powerhouse, and then there is the major part called the subconscious part of your powerhouse. Your subconscious part of the powerhouse is an autopilot. It runs on its own, and it's a blessing. Right now when you're listening to me, at the same time, you are also breathing, and you don't have to think about it, okay? And there are a lot of other things happening in your life simultaneously without you being aware of it. It's a blessing, but life is bipolar. Life is what? There's left, there is right, there is top, there is bottom, there is black, there is white. So whatever comes with a great advantage will have some challenge attached to it. And that's where things went wrong for us. So coming back, I don't know your journey, I know my journey. I would sleep on the floor with my parents and sister. We had two wooden windows, I would gaze through the window before I could doze off to sleep, and I would dream one day of becoming a top Bollywood star. Yeah. And then I gave up my dream. What a shame, right? I had a great chance. Isn't it, guys? Yeah. Because people started mentoring me who had no idea about acting, going to Bollywood. They said, you're a taxi driver's son, get an education up to 10+2 and get a job. That's the best thing you can do for you and your life and your parents. So I gave up my Bollywood career. I then thought, I will be a great international bowler. I am a left hand bowler, so I have a little bit of advantage, I can swing the ball. But then again, the right kind of mentor did not come in my life. I gave up on my cricket dream as well. And that happens to most people. No children is aspiring to sit in a cubicle and have a mediocre life one day. Every child is aspiring to become a superstar, whether they are born in Vietnam, Japan, America, doesn't matter, Mexico. Every child. But something goes wrong in the journey. What goes wrong is your mentorship. What ship? Mentorship. And if you haven't realized by now, your parents are your first mentors. And in very few cases, God bless you, it was your nanny, granny who brought you up. And unknowingly, what's the word? Unknowingly, well, they loved for you, cared for you, otherwise you will fall off the roof, break your head, you'll put your hand on fire, burn yourself. They cared for you, but at the same time, unknowingly, they passed on their limitations, their fear onto you. And you started, designing your life based on the programming they gave you.